Yo, what's up guys, so today we are gonna see, what if, Hinata unknowingly unlocks her mother's Dojutsu during the fight with Neji, Naruto x Hinata x Tenten x Hana, part 2, hope you'll enjoy this video, so before we start, go check out the author of this fanfic, BlueLionFox, link is in the description, and also subscribe to my channel, and like this video. Let's begin the video. Jiraiya sat across the fire looking at Ku, while Naruto slept with his head on her lap. Ku looked up at him, what are you staring at, she asked. How long do you think you could keep this up, he asked. What do you mean, Ku asked. You didn't think I would realize who you are, he asked. I told you I'm Ku, she said confused. Yay, Ku, the nickname I gave you is short for Kushina, he told her. You gave me that nickname, maybe you Ku was cut off. You know, I don't care what you were doing. All I want to know is what's so damn important that you abandoned your own son for 12 years, he asked. My son is dead, Ku said in shock. Who are you kidding, look at him, he is exactly like you in every way except looks and gender, Jiraiya said. Ku looked down at him, impossible, Danzo said he was dead, I even attended his funeral, she whispered. Danzo, Jiraiya asked as his sharp ears caught what she said. I have to go, Ku said, and gently pulled Naruto off her and got up to run. Wait, the brat asked you to come, now you're going to run away again, Jiraiya asked. Ku ran away from the campsite and curled up by a tree while trying to clear her head. What he said can't be true, my son died, I saw him dead, she told herself, but as she kept saying it, she believed it less and less herself. She stayed next to the tree all night as she tried to sleep, but couldn't because of all the things she saw her new friend going through, kept giving her nightmares. Naruto woke up and looked around, perverted sage Ku, he asked. She said she had some things to take care of. Jiraiya lied. Oh, should we wait, Naruto asked. No, she said she would catch up. Jiraiya lied again. Oh, I hope she catches up fast, Naruto said. Let's go, brat, the first thing you're going to learn is how to do the Rasengan, Jiraiya said. Ku walked through the forest with no destination in mind. I'm starting to think about the little one a lot lately, she said to herself. Oh great, now I'm talking to myself. She is sad. She took a deep breath after a while. Okay Ku, you can handle this, just take it slow, she encouraged herself. She started to walk back towards where she left Naruto and Jiraiya. What do I remember, anything that can help me, she asked herself. As she walked she stopped as she remembered one thing from when Danzo told her about her son being dead, something that until now she always skipped over when she had dreams about this. Danzo has the Sharingan, I need to find the perverted sage, she said, and took off running. Jiraiya stopped just as they were about to enter the largest supplier of tea in the entire fire country. Perverted sage, why are we stopping? Naruto asked. We just found Tsunade, he said. Naruto looked around and saw no one who looked to be as old as the perverted sage. Are you sure everyone here is too young to be your teammate? Yes brat, I'm sure, Jiraiya said annoyed. Jiraiya, who is the brat, asked. Hey lady, maybe you can help. We are looking for this lady named Tsunade. Do you know what, Naruto asked. I'm Tsunade, the blonde said. Really, Naruto looked at Tsunade then at Jiraiya. Wow, age must really hate you, perverted sage, he said. Tsunade laughed. What are you looking for, she asked. Well, perverted sage says you're a really good medic, Naruto said. Yes, I am, Tsunade said. So can you please come back to fix Hinata-chan, the old man, and Sasuke, Naruto asked. I would love to help you, but I'm not going back, Tsunade said. Please, you're the only one who can help them, Naruto said. No, Tsunade said and started to walk away. Wait Tsunade, this girl Hinata is a Hyuga Uchiha hybrid, Jiraiya said. Oh I see, Tsunade thought about it for a minute, great for her, tell her I wish her luck in dealing with the dangers that she has from both their enemies. Now if you would excuse me, there is a casino with my name waiting, she added and walked away. Why won't you help? I thought the Senins were supposed to help when they needed it, Naruto yelled. Tsunade turned and looked at him, who the hell told you that crap? Just because I'm a Senin does not mean I have to drop everything and run back to Konoha, just because they couldn't protect themselves, and newsflash, Orochimaru, the guy who almost killed the old man, is a Senin, she said. Fine, I will learn medicine myself and help them, Naruto said. Tsunade looked at him for a minute, then burst out laughing. Good one brat, you learn medicine, she said through her hysterics. I can learn medicine, Naruto said. Tsunade just kept laughing, but I agree with Tsunade on this one, you will never learn medicine, Jiraiya said. You're supposed to be on my side, perverted sage, Naruto said. Actually I should be on Tsunade's side since I do owe her my life, she saved me more than I would like to admit, Jiraiya said. Naruto looked dejected. Is there any way I can bring her back? He asked and looked at the still laughing Senin. Jiraiya thought, how good are you at gambling, he asked. Never gambled before, I'm too young, Naruto said. Well, no time like now to start, the only way she will come back is if she loses a bet, Jiraiya said. Naruto thought for a moment, then approached the female Senin. I would like to make a bet, he said. Tsunade looked at him trying to stop her laughter. What's the bet, she asked. If I can beat you in a fight you will come back, he said. Tsunade, Jiraiya, and Tsunade's assistant who just happened to walk up at the time to hear the bet all burst out laughing. Wow, you should be a comedian, that was really funny, Tsunade said, rolling on the ground holding her sides as she laughed her head off. Hey, I'm serious, Naruto yelled. Tsunade took a few minutes to get herself under control. How about this, in 1 week we will have a spar. If you can land one hit on my forehead I will come back with you, she said, pointing to her forehead with her thumb. Naruto said with the utmost confidence as they shook hands. Wow, Jiraiya, you outdid yourself with this one, Tsunade said as she let her assistant off. Let's go, brat, I have a lot to teach you if you're going to win this bet. For now forget about the Rasengan, need to focus on your taijutsu and speed, Jiraiya said. Gu finally accepted that Naruto was her son and was now walking through a large town asking anyone if they saw a blonde 12-year-old with a white-haired guy. As she continued to look for them she mentally berated herself for being this caught up with her thoughts that she lost sight of them. It's been a week since they split up and she was no closer to them now than when she started looking for them. She turned a corner and saw a bunch of people running towards where she was headed. Excuse me, what's going on, she asked a random person. A fight, a huge fight, and there is this 12-year-old in the middle of it. How can a parent be so careless to let him fight ninja like Itachi, the man said and ran off. Who processed all this? Itachi, she screamed and ran towards where the people were running from. Naruto watched as Jiraiya and Tsunade fought Itachi and his blue sidekick. He looked over at the assistant and she was fighting some guy, but it looked to him that the guy was flirting with her rather than trying to fight her. Naruto couldn't understand why he would be willing to take a beating as bad as he was to impress some girl. Naruto jumped when someone landed behind him, unable to fight the perverted sage, he said nervously at Itachi. That's the glory of having the Sharingan, now don't resist and I won't hurt you, Itachi said. I'm not going anywhere, Naruto said. Naruto got into his fighting position but was knocked out before he could do anything. Jiraiya felt a surge of chakra enter his body as the on him was broken. You idiot, you looked him in the eyes, didn't you? Tsunade asked. No, I think it happened when he pointed at me, Jiraiya said. Well, just great, now how do we get the brat back from them? Tsunade asked as Shizune ran up to them. It's almost impossible to kill them, I know for a fact a few of those blows I landed on that blonde should have killed him, Shizune said. Our main goal is Itachi, he has the brat, Jiraiya said. Itachi did a one-hand sign, Kaiten. Raging Dragon called out and blew out a fire dragon that headed straight for the three. Itachi and his partners were about to leave when someone dropped in their way. Move before I kill you, Itachi said. Put him down now, she said. We don't have time for this, the blue guy said. You're right, take care of her, Kisame, Itachi said. I won't say it again, put him down, she said. Kisame swung his sword at the lady and was surprised when she caught it with her bare hands and he couldn't drain her chakra from her. I said put my son down now, she yelled as she expelled her chakra from every chakra point of her body at the same time, blowing the three back and Naruto from Itachi's hand. Itachi and Tsunade looked at her in shock. You're supposed to be dead, Tsunade said. What did you and Danzo do to me so I wouldn't remember my own son? Ku asked in a low voice. What are you talking about? I will kill you for putting this on me. Ku yelled and jumped at him. The blonde jumped in front of Itachi with palms pointing towards her. Double bomb said. The mouths on his hands opened and spit out 2 clay bombs at her. Ashina threw a kunai and was gone in a trail of red hair. She reappeared kicking the blonde in the face and looking hatefully at Itachi. No one can save you or Danzo from my wrath. I will have revenge on you both, starting with you, she said. Hold it, how is it that I can't suck your chakra? Kisame asked. I'm Uzumaki. Ku said, leaving it at that and started to walk towards Itachi. What the hell does that mean? Kisame asked in confusion. They have a chakra-based bloodline, they have the ability to completely stop the flow of their chakra or speed it up, they can use it for attacks or defense, and it's very useful for pushing people back as we just witnessed, Itachi explained. Damn, I need to kill her, Kisame said. You will never get through my defense, it's absolute, Kushina said as she almost cut Kisame's arm off with her chakra. Let's make a deal, Itachi said. I don't make deals with people I'm about to kill, Ku said. Wait, just hear me out, Itachi said in a panic. I'm listening to what Ku said as she continued to approach him. I'll break the Danzo put on you if you let us go, he said. Ku thought, no, I'll find a way to break it myself, she said. Who the hell can you find to break a put on you by the Sharingan? Itachi challenged. I know a person who can remove it and will be more than happy to do it, she said. Ah, like Sasuke will help you, Itachi said. Not him, now prepare to die, Ku said. Ku attacked him just as he turned into a bunch of crows. Damn it again, she said. She concentrated on her chakra and he stopped. He got away, she whispered. Ku, you came back, Naruto said weakly as he started to wake up. She walked over to him. Are you okay? She asked. I'm fine, just caught off guard, Naruto said with a smile. But Ku said, then turned to Jiraiya, a perverted sage. What the hell were you thinking to bring him to a fight with Itachi? She asked as she glared at him. I didn't know he would be here. As you saw, he can only beat me if he uses his, Jiraiya pointed out. No, he is finally stronger than you, Tsunade said. Naruto reached up and put his hand on Tsunade's forehead as she healed him from their little spar they were having before they were interrupted. I won, he said. Everyone blinked at him. That's cheating, the bet was during our spar, which you did not touch me, Tsunade finally said. But please, Naruto said with a pout since he couldn't think of anything else to say. Ku started to laugh. Wow, I can't believe he has my pout, she said. I told you he is an exact clone of you all the way down to his jutsus, except his looks and gender, Jiraiya said. What are you talking about? Naruto asked. Remember in the hospital when I told you my son was dead and that I couldn't remember most of my life after I became a Ku asked. Naruto responded. Well, perverted sage told me part of my life, you're my son, and oddly enough he gave me the nickname Ku. I thought it was Danzo who gave me that name, Ku said. So your mom, Naruto asked. What do you think, Ku asked and gave Naruto the exact pout he gave Tsunade. Wow, he is her son, Shizune said. Naruto looked at her for a minute, then smiled. I believe you, he said. He then jumped on her in a hug. Wait, Ku, who is my father, he asked. Well, I can't remember what Ku said, embarrassed. Oh, Naruto said. So Tsunade, are you coming back, Ku asked. No, he cheated, Tsunade said. Please, Naruto and Ku both said with their pout to her. Tsunade closed her eyes trying to avoid the double pouts. She then sighed, just what I need is another person besides Ku who can do that damned pout, it needs to be forbidden, she said. So you're coming back, Naruto asked excitedly. Yeah, let's get going, Tsunade said. Everyone was sitting around a fire. Well, Naruto, I'm going to train you, Ku said. Really? In what? Naruto asked. I'm going to train you how to use our bloodline. No, it's a minor bloodline that uses electricity to control our chakra, Ku said. So I'm going to be a lighting element user, Naruto asked. Yes, but that may not be your main element. I'm a wind mistress and have learned to use my lighting and water elements with ease, Ku said. Oh, so I can have two elements, Naruto asked. Yay, now the first thing we have to do is get you to get the basic understanding of lighting. If you're a natural lighting user, it will be easy. If you're like me, you will have a hard time catching on until you have your other element under control, Ku said. Before you start, why not find out what his main element is? Jiraiya asked, pulling out a piece of chakra paper. And you just happen to have that with you? Tsunade asked. Jiraiya shrugged as Naruto took the paper. Just push a little of your chakra into the paper, Ku said. Naruto did as told and the paper first split in half, then one half rippled up while the other got soggy. I'm starting to think that we are destined to be connected, no matter what anyone does, Ku said as she looked at the paper. I'm not surprised that his elements are the same as yours, he is like you in every other way, Jiraiya said. My son is also my twin, Ku said with amusement. So mom asked how to train my wind element, Naruto asked. Ku quickly looked at him. What did you call me, she asked. Mom, isn't that what someone calls their mother, Naruto asked. Ku just looked at him in shock. Yes, brat, it's just she wasn't prepared for that. Being called mom the first time had this effect on every mother, Tsunade explained. How would you know? You don't have any kids, Jiraiya asked. I'm the best medic in history, you idiot, Tsunade said. Ku picked Naruto in a hug. He called me mom, she said happily while spinning him around. The two senins and watched with a smile on their face. Mom, I'm getting dizzy, Naruto said after a while. Naruto marched in front of Ku, Jiraiya, Shizune, and Tsunade as they approached the gate. You do realize he has yet to take in the fact that your mother, Tsunade said. What do you mean, Ku asked. Since you told him, he has been training non-stop to use his bloodline and learning seals, Tsunade said. So you mean he is like this because he hasn't thought about it yet, Ku asked. In a way, he thought about it, he just hasn't fully absorbed it, Tsunade said. Hey, we're home, Naruto yelled from in front of them. We can see that there is no need to yell at us, Tsunade said. Why don't you lead us to your girlfriend, brat, Jiraiya said. Naruto led them to the hospital and was immediately stopped by the receptionist. What are you doing? I'm here to see what Hinata, Naruto said. She is not allowed to have any visitors, the receptionist said. But I helped Naruto. Look, I don't care if you brought Tsunade-sama, you still can't go see her, the lady said. In fact, he did bring me, Tsunade said. The receptionist looked at her in surprise. Tsunade-sama, she stuttered out. What room is Hinata in? Room 125B, but he still can't go see her, the lady said. But why didn't Naruto whine? Rules, the lady said, shrugging. She then pointed to some people behind them. They have been here every day since she was in here. They just sit there and wait for her to wake up, she told them. Kurenai-sensei, Anko-san, Hanabi-chan, Naruto yelled and ran over to them. Naruto, where have you been? Your girlfriend has been in the hospital for weeks, and you haven't been here even once to try and see her. Hanabi yelled at him with her Hyuga glare. Sorry Hanabi-chan, but I went to get someone who can help her, Naruto said defensively. Tsunade stepped up before the girl killed him. Don't worry, your sister will be awoken soon, so you both can go see her, she said with a smile. Tsunade-sama, Kurenai said. Anko's head fell over onto her lap as she quietly snored. She hasn't slept in days. The council is giving her as many missions as possible. While the Hokage is out, what free time she gets she is here, hoping that Hinata will wake up, Kurenai explained at Naruto's confused look at the sleeping. Why don't you take her to her house so she can sleep? I'll send for you all when Hinata wakes up, Tsunade said. Break. Naruto got bored sitting in Kurenai's apartment and decided to announce it. I'm bored, he said loudly. Why don't you go out and do something? Ku asked. Good idea, I'll be back, he said and ran out the door. You remember when you said I could come to you if I needed to talk? Ku asked. Yes, why? Kurenai asked. Well, I need to talk, Ku said. Well, I'm here to listen to what Kurenai said. Well, I spent the last 12 years believing my son was dead. Now that I found out he isn't, I don't know what to do, Ku said. Kurenai looked at her. Naruto's mother, she asked. Ku said. Well, you could try and give him the love he needed from you when he was growing up, Kurenai said. But I don't know how to do that. That damn Danzo screwed around with my brain, and I can't even remember my name, Ku said in a depressed voice. Sounds like what Orochimanko said from her spot on Kurenai's lap. The two older Kunoichis looked down at her. How long have you been awake? Kurenai asked. Since the brat yelled about being bored, Anko answered. She then looked at Ku, never taking her head off Kurenai's lap. When I was abandoned by Orochim, he sealed my memory of my life before him. It wasn't until I became best friends with Kurenai that I was able to start remembering, she told her. You think the same will happen to me? Ku asked with hope. Possible, I'm no seal master, but I'm willing to bet if it can happen with me, it can happen with you, Anko said. So I need to try and make friends, Ku asked. Let's start with what's in front of you first. You can trust me and Anko with your true identity, Kurenai said. Ku took her mask off. Thank you for trying to help me remember, she said. Anko smiled at her. Hey, I know what it's like to have some creepy mess with your brain, and I would do anything to help a friend, she said. Now you need to work on learning everything about your son, Kurenai said. Can you tell me about his past? Anko and Kurenai looked at each other. It started the day of the sealing. More than half the council, most of the village civilians, and a few ninjas wanted him to be killed immediately. If it wasn't for the fact that the village was even more scared of what would happen to Kyuubi, then he would be dead. Kurenai started the long history of Naruto. Break. Naruto was running towards the ramen stand when he noticed everyone looking at him with even more hate. He finally made it to Ichiraku's and ran in. Man, everyone hates me even more than before I left, he said. It's because you used Kyuubi. Even though you saved them, they think you're losing control, AM told him as she cleaned the counter. One bowl of miso please, someone asked to walk in. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto said in surprise. I thought I would find you here, we have to talk, Kakashi said. About what? Naruto asked in confusion. About you, Kakashi said as he got his ramen. What about me? Am I in trouble? Naruto was scared of the answer. No, actually it's about why I haven't trained you more before the exams, Kakashi said. At this point AM started listening, wanting to know why also. It's not like I hate you or anything, I was ordered not to train you properly, he said. Naruto was shocked as his ramen fell out of his mouth. AM was no better as her mouth was opening and closing with questions, but none came out. Who ordered you not to train him? A voice asked from behind them. The council. I had no choice in the matter, Kakashi said. Of course you had a choice, you could have trained him like you were supposed to, the lady said. You don't understand, Tsunade-sama. If I had trained, not only would I have been marked as a traitor, but they would have executed Naruto, Kakashi said calmly. Tsunade thought about this as the two teens were still in shock. So in a twisted way to protect him, you neglected him, she asked. I never said I wanted to or was proud of it, Kakashi said. I think I understand why you did it, but that doesn't mean I like that you went along with it, Tsunade said. They can't dictate who gets training or not, an angry AM finally said. Right now there is nothing we can do. I'm not willing to risk Naruto's life by training him just yet, but I can help with his training, Kakashi said. Tsunade asked. I have a few ideas, Kakashi said. Come with me, Kakashi, Tsunade said, and walked out with Kakashi following after he paid for his meal. AM looked at Naruto to see how he was taking this news. How did Kakashi-sensei eat without removing his mask, he asked. Sweat dropped at her brother's short memory. Kakashi's eyes smiled as he walked out. I think he understands why I did it, he said to Tsunade. Break. Tsunade, Kakashi, and Jiraiya walked into Kurenai's apartment, joining her, Ku, and Anko. What's so important that we needed to come here? Jiraiya asked. Just shut up and listen, Tsunade said. I'm sure everyone noticed I haven't trained Naruto, Kakashi said. Hard not to notice, Anko said. Right, but none of you know why I didn't train him, Kakashi said. I'm sure you're going to tell us, Ku asked as she glared from behind her mask. If his reason isn't good enough, I'll kill him, she thought. If I trained him, then the council would have executed him, Kakashi said. Again, Ku asked. Kakashi told them exactly why he hadn't trained Naruto, so if I trained him then he would have been killed. I had no choice, he finished. Of course you had a choice, Ku yelled. Ku, think about it, if Kakashi was caught training Naruto or it was found out that Naruto was being trained, then you wouldn't be here now, would you? You would still be a mindless zombie, Tsunade said. I have an idea on how I can help him train without actually training him though, Kakashi said. How, Enko asked. Well, I have some scrolls with things he can learn on them, but need someone who is willing to go against the entire council to train him, someone who doesn't care if others know they are training him, Kakashi said. I'll do it, Anko and Ku said at the same time. Anko, I thought you were going to help me train Hinata, Kurenai said. Well, someone has to train the brat, besides you have Rayu, Sophia, and Kuro, Anko said. Hinata will be sad if you're not training her, you know how much she looks up to you after what Kurenai said. Fine, I'll just help train both, Anko said. Then it's agreed, Ku will train Naruto with help from Anko, Tsunade said. Okay, here are the scrolls I told you about. Kakashi said, handing Ku the scrolls and puffed out the room. Why did you put your mask back on, Ku, Kurenai asked. I'm not ready to show my face to people I don't trust, Ku responded with a shrug of her shoulders. Break. Naruto walked into Hinata's room with a stuffed animal hidden behind his back. Since the animal was almost as big as he was, it didn't work too well, but he tried anyway. As soon as he opened the door, Hanabi and Hinata turned to look at him. Naruto-kun, I missed you so much, Hinata said immediately. Hi Naruto, Hanabi said happily. Naruto slowly made his way over to the bed, trying to keep Hinata from seeing the giant animal that was behind him. Close your eyes, I have a surprise for you, he said. Hinata looked at Hanabi, who shrugged, then back at Naruto. Okay, she said, and put her hands over her eyes. Naruto waved his hand and made funny faces in front of her face that made Hanabi laugh. Good, she can't see, he said. He sat the giant animal on top of her. Okay, you can open them now, he said. Hinata opened her eyes and looked at the animal and smiled. I love it, I'm going to call it Foxy-chan, she said while hugging it. I thought you wouldn't like it, I was so nervous, Naruto said with a sigh of relief. Hinata looked at him and quickly pulled him on the bed. Of course I like it. I like anything I get from you, my fox-kun, she purred in his ear while kissing him on his jawline. The 7-year-old in the room, Hanabi yelled while covering her eyes. Sorry Hanabi-chan, Hinata said with a blush. Anyway, when are you getting out of here? I want to train with you again, Hanabi asked. I have to wait for Tsunade-sama to tell me I can leave, Hinata told her sister. Oh, well, I have to leave before my guards realize I'm not in my room anymore, Hanabi said and ran out the room. Hinata kissed Naruto again. Now where was I? She asked. Hinata-chan, we are only 13, Naruto said nervously. So Hinata replied. Naruto was saved from not having to pry himself from his girlfriend as the door opened. I hope I'm not interrupting anything, Tsunade said. Actually you are, Hinata said with a glare. Tsunade just smiled, not at all affected by the glare or the way she said it. Good, you're still not supposed to be moving around. Naruto-kun is looking for you to start your training, she said. Once Naruto was gone, she looked at Hinata. I want you to stay here for another day to make sure you don't have any side effects from being unconscious, she told her. Okay, hey, can I learn medicine? Hinata asked. Sure, I'll bring you some stuff to read, Tsunade said and left. Break. Naruto stood breathing hard as he finally got a 5-minute break from his mother, who he had realized was pushing him a little too hard to learn things in their clan he should have already been taught. He wasn't blaming her, of course, he actually was happy, because the more he was pushed, the stronger he became. The stronger he became, the better he could protect his precious people. Gu was looking at the setting sun as she waited for Naruto to catch his breath. She had been pushing him as hard as she could for the last 2 weeks and didn't plan on stopping until he could control his nose without any problems. As she looked at the sunset, she felt several chakras coming towards them. Naruto went to find Kurenai, she told him. Why is mom? Naruto asking. Goku demanded as she prepared for the unknown. Naruto ran to the normal training ground that Kurenai used and found it empty. He continued to run until he came to Kurenai's apartment and knocked on the door. Naruto-kun couldn't resist coming to see me, Hinata said as she opened the door. Ku sent me to find Kurenai-sensei. Naruto was confused about what Hinata meant. Oh, she is in the kitchen, what's wrong? Hinata asked. What does Ku want? Not sure, she wouldn't tell me, even yelled at me to come get you, Naruto said. Really, you two stay here, Anko, we have to go, Kurenai said as she went to get her equipment. Now, Anko yelled from the shower. Yes, now, Kurenai responded. Break. Ku sighed as she continued to wait for the incoming chakras to get within eyesight. She didn't want to yell at Naruto, but he needed to get back to the village in case these chakras were a danger to him. She looked back up at the sunset and sighed again, just as they jumped out of the trees. "It took you long enough," she said. "So they sent you to intercept us," one of them asked. "No, I just like the view of the sunset out here. Now I'm starting to miss my son, so why don't you turn and leave before I have to force you," Ku responded. "You're going to be missing more than your son," one of them said and charged her. Ku sidestepped his punch and sent a knee to his stomach, knocking the wind out of him. She then sent him back with a quick punch to the face. The other four charged her at once, and she easily ducked and dodged through their attacks without any effort. "I should have let my son deal with you instead of sending him back to the village," Ku said mockingly. "You will pay for that remark," the leader said. "Yay, if you can hit me," Ku said with a cocky grin. "I'm going to wipe that grin off your cocky little face," he said. "You don't need any help, do you?" Kuenko asked as she and Kurenai arrived. "No, I got this, just sit back and watch the show, even look at the sunset, it's beautiful," Ku said as she continued to mock the ninja's lack of skill. "You bitch, stop running and fight," the female said. "If that's what you want," Ku said. She then vanished and sent the girl flying with a well-placed punch. Kicking back, the fat one was the next to be sent flown into the trees. Doing a flip, she landed behind her next opponent and sent him into a boulder that was in the training area. The pale one proved to be slightly more difficult since he had good reflexes, but he too was sent flying back and hit a tree hard. She flipped back into her fighting stance and noticed that they were running away. "Well, looks like my fun is over," she said. "Most impressive," Anko said in a mock cheer. "Why thank you," Ku replied in the same mocking voice. "I guess we should get back before Hinata pins Naruto down and has her way with him," Kurenai said. "Yay, I remember telling her how I chased Genma around his apartment, chasing around with a kunai and a rope," Anko said. "Maybe we should get back before she gets any ideas," Ku said, now worried for her son's health. Anko and Kurenai laughed as they started walking back. Break. The three walked into Kurenai's apartment to find Naruto in Hinata's room, stripped and hanging from the ceiling with Hinata stroking his manhood. They looked at her, him and the four ropes that helped him in place and blinked. "Do we want to know how this happened?" Kurenai asked. Hinata gave her Anko smirk, probably not, as she told them while still stroking him. "Normally I would be proud of your accomplishment, Hinata, but he is like a brother to me, so let him down and give him his clothes," Anko said. "He never will fall for that trick again," she said, not wanting to waste a great opportunity. "Where is his clothes?" Ku said. "I kind of threw them out the window," Hinata said. Kurenai asked. "So he couldn't run away when I went to the bathroom," Hinata told him. The three sweat dropped. "I think I have a shirt big enough to cover yourself with," Kurenai said. Sophia, Rayu, and Kuro walked in the room and stopped in shock. "Well, it looks like someone is having a little fun. Can I join Rayu?" Everyone in the room glared at him. "What?" he asked. "Get the hell out of my apartment," Kurenai said. "Hey, I'm here for a reason. I need a timetable for the Uchiha Hyuga training," Rayu said, knowing Hinata hated being called that. "Kurenai, can you get him that shirt you told us about?" Hinata cut him down, Ku said. "Do I have to right now?" Hinata asked as Naruto moaned out loud. Everyone looked at Hinata's hand. "Now," Anko said. "But you said never give up a good opportunity, and this is a great one," Hinata protested. "Hinata, unless you want to spend all day with Rayu tomorrow, cut him down," Anko said. "Fine, just don't send me to that asshole," Hinata said, cutting him down. "I'm right here, you know," Rayu said with a tick mark on his head. "I know," Hinata said and left the room. Ku followed her out. "Hinata, you can't keep doing that," she said. "Why not? I'm ready for it. I know all the protection jutsus," Hinata asked for. "Because you're only 13, look, I'm not trying to tell you how to love your life, but trust me on this, you're not ready for what could happen if you forget just once to use the Ku said. "But I won't forget," what Hinata said. "How do you know? I never thought I would forget my past, my family, and look what happened," Ku said. "That's not fair, someone messed with your brain," Hinata said. "Still, I forgot. I'm not saying you will forget, I'm just asking to wait at least until you're 15, only 2 more years," Ku asked. "After that, I can have sex as much as I want with Naruto-kun," Hinata asked. "As long as you protect yourself and it doesn't interfere with your missions or training," Ku said. "Okay, I'll wait, but after what I went through I should be able to have sex. I mean, I was kicked out of my home, and I'm old enough to kill," Hinata sighed. "Look, I just don't want you to do something you will regret, but if it makes you feel any better you can do anything that doesn't involve anything entering your womanhood," Ku said. "Okay, now can you help me go over these medic scrolls?" Hinata asked. "Sure," Ku replied. Hinata was sitting in a restaurant eating cinnamon buns with Hanabi when the smaller girl jumped over the counter and hid. Confused, Hinata turned to the door and saw Neji enter and suppressed the urge to attack him. He walked up to her. "Hinata," he was cut off. "Why are you here, Hyuga? As you can see, no one here is friends with you, and I don't want to talk to you, so leave," she said in a cold voice. Behind the counter Hanabi shivered at the coldness of her sister. Hinata, I came to ask if you saw Hanabi, Neji asked after he got over his shock from her words. If she was here I wouldn't tell you, so you can run back to your master and tell him. Now leave before I make you, Hinata said with her ever-present and practiced glare that started to rival the glare of Anko. Neji hesitated for a minute. I'm sorry to bother you, he whispered, then left. Hanabi peeked from behind the counter. Is it safe, she asked. Yes, no Hyugas are around, Hinata told her as she activated her and checked. Good, they are so clingy. I'm 7 for God's sake, I can take care of myself, Hanabi said. Hinata smiled at her. Did you practice that scroll I gave you, she asked. Yup, I can't wait to unleash my new skills on those uptight Hyugas, Hanabi said. Don't do too much or you might lose your role as heir, Hinata warned. Don't worry, I will do everything I can to make sure I become heir and give you what is rightfully yours, Hanabi said. Hinata smiled and hugged her. I'm so glad you didn't get corrupted by those Hyugas, she said. I had you to keep me sane, she told her. Tenten walked in the restaurant. Hanabi. You know you have an entire squad of Hyugas looking for you, she said. I guess I better leave, I'll come see you as soon as I can, Hanabi said. Be safe, Hanabi, Hinata said as she left. Sophia walked in. Hinata, ready for training, she asked. Training, my favorite training, can Tenny come with us, Hinata asked. Sure, as long as she doesn't slow us down, Sophia said. Don't worry, I train just as hard as Hina does, Tenten said. Break. Gu found Hinata sitting on a random roof and went to her. Hina. I know it's late, but can you do me a favor? Sure, what's up, Hinata asked. You see, Danzo and Itachi put it on me, and I need someone with a Sharingan to remove it. Do you think you can do it, Gu asked. I'll try, but wouldn't Rayu be better suited for this, Hinata asked. Maybe, but I thought you could use the chance to break it before I went to him, plus it will be good practice for you, Gu said. Okay, I'll give it my best shot, Hinata said. I know you will, Gu said as she sat in front of her. Break. Hinata walked around the village by herself looking for Naruto. It has been 2 months since she was able to really spend time with him, and she missed him. She walked into the forest since she knew he liked to spend time there. Ever since he came back from getting Tsunade, the villagers have been very unfair to him, even after he saved them from Gaara. She found him sitting in front of a waterfall and walked up to him. You haven't been hiding from me, have you, she asked, sitting next to him. I could never hide from you, Mom just been pushing me really hard, Naruto answered. Who is that, Naruto asked looking behind her. Hinata blinked then turned around. Who the fuck are you, shithead, she asked. Where is Sasuke Uchiha? He asked. Who wants to fucking know, Hinata asked, getting more annoyed that her time with Naruto was cut short again. I'm Kimimaro and I'm here to take him to Orochimaru-sama, he answered. Hinata and Naruto stood up. Well, he is on probation, come back later, Hinata said. I don't want to, but if I have to I will kill you, then go get him myself, Kimimaro said. The two got into their stance. You can try, Hinata said. Ina-chan, go warn them about this, I'll hold him off, Naruto said. Hell no, Hinata said. You're faster than I am, you can get there before I would, Naruto said. Fine, be careful, Hinata said, and took off in a burst of speed. Well, let's get started, Naruto said. Kimimaro attacked while pulling out a bone katana. Naruto pulled out a kunai and blocked the katana. Kimimaro ducked under a punch and kicked Naruto in the back. Break. Hinata ran into the village and spotted Tenten, Ino, and Hana. Hina, what's the rush, Hana asked. Orochimaru sent someone here to retrieve Sasuke. Naruto is fighting him while I came to tell the Hinata said. I'll send a note to my mom, she will tell them, we should get there in case Naruto needs our help, Hana said as one of her dogs took off to find Tsun. Break. Naruto was dripping with water as he continued his fight with Kimimaro. So far Naruto looked like he was being used for target practice. Naruto prepared to attack again when he heard someone behind him. Chidori.he turned to see Sasuke running towards him, with his Sharingan blazing, as he stuck the in Naruto's chest before he had a chance to react. Hinata, Ino, Hana, and Tenten landed just as this happened. Naruto, they all yelled and ran towards him. Sasuke dropped him. You wanted me, he asked. Orochimaru-sama sent me to retrieve you, Kimimaro said. Well, lead on, Sasuke said, and the two took off. Naruto, don't you dare die on me, Hinata said as she tried to heal him, but her medical knowledge wasn't enough. Come on, Naruto, don't die, you still have so much to live for, Tenten said with tears as she watched helplessly while Hinata tried to heal him. Come on, I need my little brother, you bring excitement to my life, Ino said as his head was on her knees. Damn it, Hana yelled to the sky, why did I choose to become a vet instead of a medic? She cursed herself as her medical skills were helpless to them. The group landed next to them and continued in the direction of sound as Shizune walked up to them. Give me some room. She said, kneeling and looking over Naruto's injury. It missed his heart. He will be fine in a few minutes, she said as her hands turned green. Break. Tsunade walked into the hospital room with her Hokage's hat on, asking how they were. Surprised by the question, Shizune looked up in confusion. What do you mean, she asked. Hinata, Tenten, Ino, and Hana, how are they? She cleared. Oh, they haven't said anything since we came back, Shizune said. Tsunade walked in front of them. You four disappointed me, she said. They looked up in shock. Hokage-sama, Hana said. Don't interrupt me when I'm talking. Now, as I was saying, you four disappoint me. You all sat there and watched as he almost died. What do you have to say for yourselves? She finished. My vet skills wouldn't have helped any, Hana said. How do you know? Did you even try and stop the bleeding? Tsunade asked. Hana looked down in shame. No, she admitted. And if you would have tried, you would have realized that if you altered a few things from your vet training, you could have stopped the bleeding long enough to get him back to the village. What's the rest of your excuses? She asked. I'm still only on the anatomy part of my medic training, Hinata said. I have no medic training, Tenten said. Me either, Ino admitted. Tsunade gave all three a hard look. Hinata, I gave you those scrolls over 2 months ago. What the hell have you been doing if you weren't studying? She asked. Hinata looked down. I was looking through the Uchiha compound, she admitted in shame. Who gave you permission to go in there? Tsunade asked. No one, Hinata said. So not only did you not train, you entered the Uchiha compound even though it's forbidden, which I can throw you in prison for, Tsunade said. Everyone looked at her in shock. Tsunade-sama, you wouldn't do that, Shizune asked. Tsunade looked at her, then back at the four. Got to my office now, she said, and watched them get up and run out the room. What are you going to do? Shizune asked. Something I should have done a long time ago. You're officially in charge of the hospital, Tsunade said and walked out, leaving a confused Shizune. Break. Tsunade walked in her office and saw the four waiting on her, sitting down and shut up. She looked them over, then took out 4 scroll. Ino, with your knowledge of different plants, Anko has asked me if she could take you on as an apprentice. For now on you will go to her for Black Ops training. Hana, you have been requested to join the Anbu. Because of your tracking ability you start tomorrow. Tenten Yuigao has requested to take you on as an apprentice. Because of your ability to use different weapons as needed in the Anbu. Hinata, you will become the apprentice of Rayu, and he will begin your Black Ops training. You each will report to me before your training with them for medic training. I will not tolerate what happened earlier today, and it will not happen again. She glared hard at each one. Am I clear? She asked. Yes, Hokage-sama, they all said at the same time. Good, here is your Black Ops mask. When you're in your Black Ops training you will wear this mask at all times. When you're on missions you will wear it. If you're training by yourself you will wear it. Any questions? Tsunade asked, handing them their masks. So unless we are off for the day we have to wear our masks? Ino asked. Yes, Tsunade answered. When did our training start? Hana asked. Tomorrow, Tsume already planned for someone to take over your training, since she can't focus on increasing your training while training Kiba and leading the Inyazuka clan, Tsunade said. What about our brother? Tenten asked. He already became the apprentice of Jiraiya, who decided to join the Anbu, and will start his Black Ops training when he is released from the hospital, Tsunade said. Do I have to become the apprentice of Ryu's? Can I have Sophia as a master instead? Hinata asked. She really didn't want to spend too much time around him. Tsunade gave her a look. Why should I change who trains you for the Black Ops? Not everyone is giving this chance so lightly, she asked. Well, Ryu is weird, loud, unorganized, sloppy, snores, arrogant, never takes anyone's opinion seriously unless they can beat him. He won't stop calling me Hyuga Uchiha, even though I told him to constantly, and I hate him, Hinata said all in one breath. Tsunade just blinked at her. All your reasons are misled. Ryu is a bit unorthodox, but he is a cage-level shinobi, and might be the second strongest in the village behind Jiraiya, and most of his quirks is just a front, so people will underestimate him, she said calmly. But Hinata was stopped by Tsunade's hand. You witnessed the fight he had with Jiraiya, right? She asked. Hinata nodded, confused. Do you think Jiraiya would have took him serious if he didn't think Ryu was a threat to him? Jiraiya might be a lot of things, but he isn't stupid enough to think he can beat everyone, and he knows Ryu can beat him if he underestimate him even once. Besides, do you think I would put you under someone I didn't trust completely? Tsunade asked. Hinata thought about what she heard. I guess I just judged him before I got to know him, she admitted. Just a little. Most of the things you said about him is true except never taking anyone serious. Ryu is kind of like Naruto. He wants people to underestimate him and uses that to his advantage. But unlike Naruto, Ryu can back his talk up. Besides, I put you with him because he was in the running for the Yondaime before Minato beat him in a spart, Tsunade said. Ryu was almost, Hinata asked in shock. Yes, after Minato beat him for the position he made Ryu, Sophia, and Kuro-san, Tsunade said. Wait, if he was in the running for, why didn't Sarutobi-sama know him? Hinata asked. Because that was over 13 years ago. Ryu is 30 and was 17 when he tried to become. In fact, I'm surprised Jiraiya remembered him, but then again he probably had him in one of his books, Tsunade said. So I'm the apprentice of someone who was almost there, and Naruto is the apprentice of the man who trained Hinata. Now with that, let's start your medic training, Tsunade said. Why are you not wearing your mask, she asked. They quickly put their masks on, they all were plain black. Break. Gu walked into Naruto's hospital room. How are you? She asked. Bedding in with a Chidori hurts, Naruto said. Gu nodded. I'm going to start training you for the Black Ops, she said, handing him the all-black mask. What I got to join the Anbu, Naruto asked excitedly. No, Gu simply replied. What do you mean, the Black Ops is the Anbu, right mom, he asked. No, the Anbu are all elite, capable of taking on even the hardest S-ranked missions. They all have the ability to lead a squad at any given moment and can be pulled to lead a Genin squad if they are needed, as what happened to Kakashi, Ku explained. So what are the Black Ops, Naruto asked. The Black Ops is a group of personally selected ninjas chosen by they must be Genin, or special. Each ninja is given an Anbu to train them in a specific style. I'm training you in Steel Release, Hinata is being trained in Swift Release, Ino is being trained in Silent Killing. You three will make up the newest team in the Black Ops. As a Black Ops, even though you're a Genin, you will be ranked higher than the Hokage's personal guards when she is out of the village and will take on the more secret missions, Ku told him. Naruto took this in. That's cool, I can't wait to start, I'm going to be so awesome. Wait, what happens if you become our full, he asked. You will be moved into the Anbu, since with Black Ops training, you will already have the skills of an Anbu, but most Black Ops become special to stay in the Black Ops, Ku told him. Okay, when do we start? Naruto asked. As soon as you get out of here. Also, you're going to continue as your apprentice of Jiraiya's, so I assume in a few years you will have to take the Sage training from the Toads, Ku said. Break. Hinata walked into her apartment and saw Kurenai making dinner. Hey sister, she said, taking her mask off. Kurenai smiled at her. I'll be finished cooking in a minute. Did Tsunade-sama tell you about becoming a Black Ops? Yay, Naruto and Ino became one also. Tenny and Hana will be training for the Anbu, Hinata responded. If Kurenai was surprised she didn't show it, well, I'm still going to train you when I get the chance, she said. I hope you would. I don't want to be with Rayu for long, even if he is an elite, Hinata said. Break. Hinata was breathing hard as Rayu stopped his attack on her and took a seat. You think too much, he commented. What, Hinata said in confusion. Have you ever wondered why Naruto was able to win fights without any training, Rayu asked. I was curious about what, Hinata admitted. Because he doesn't think when he fights, you think about every move you make, not that it's a bad thing, but it distracts you when you fight, he told her. I was taught by my sisters to think my moves through, Hinata said. Again, it's not a bad thing, but you need to learn to think a few moves in advance. The way you fight, you need to think your moves through for them to flow right. It's not my place to change how you fight, but to improve on how you fight, and for that I'm going to need some help, Rayu said. Help, why, Hinata asked in confusion. Because I suck at shogi, Rayu said with a smile. Hinata's sweat dropped. Shogi, what the hell does that got to do with training, she asked. It helps one notice traps and how to counter them, also it forces you to think 10 moves ahead if you don't want to get humiliated, someone said from behind her. Ishino-san, Hinata said in surprise. The Nara woman smiled at her. I'm going to teach you how to play, and once you can beat me you're going to start playing my husband and Shikamaru, until you're able to think through how you want the entire game to play out move for move. She then turned to Rayu. We will start once you're finished training. I don't want her training to slow down for this, she added. Okay, we will be finished within the hour. Why don't you set the game up and watch us? Maybe you can figure out why her style seems so predictable, Rayu said. Break. They finished training and Hinata dropped on the ground tired. Did you see how predictable she was, Rayu asked. Yes, although her speed covers it up, the problem is she is broadcasting her next move on her face. As she finishes one move she immediately looks at the area that her next one will attack at, Yoshino said. Okay, I'll work on a way to break her of that habit, Rayu said. Didn't you just say you won't try and change how I fight, Hinata asked. I'm not, but you need to break the habit of looking at where your next move will go, or it will get you killed, Rayu said. Break. A month later, Hinata, Ino, and Naruto were standing in front of Tsunade with their Black Ops mask on with a black robe and a hood over their head. All that was visible was their mask. Each had an unseen radio in their ear, a chest plate, arm bracers, and shin guards. The only other thing besides their mask that was seen was the purple katana handle on Hinata's back, the red katana handle on Naruto's back, and the white katana handle on Ino's back, each stuck out of the special hole in their robe. Tsunade looked at them. We are going to Suna to settle them, attacking us, she said. Yes, Hokage-sama, the three replied at the same time. Remember, you speak to no one, look at no one, acknowledge no one, you are Black Ops, and your only task is whatever I tell you, and if anyone attacks you will defend, Tsunade said. Yes, Hokage-sama, they replied. Let's go, Tsunade said and walked out. Remember to stay hidden, she said. The three all went through the same hand signs and vanished under A. Naruto silently thanked Kurenai for spending so much time teaching him a few, especially the one he was currently using, that hid his appearance from anyone. Break. They arrived in sauna as Tsunade's robe swung behind her. Hokage-sama welcomed the guard. Tsunade nodded to him. "Are you leading me to your council?" she asked. "Yes, Hokage-sama," he replied and led her through the village. Tsunade walked into the council room and looked around. "Hokage-sama," they all said. She looked right at Temari. "Why is a genin in here?" she asked. "We were killed by Orochimaru. He then impersonated him and led us to attack your village. I'm here since I'm the oldest living Sabaku," she answered. Tsunade nodded. "Well, let's get started," she said. "Since we didn't know our leader was dead, we shouldn't be held responsible for the attack," one of the council members said. Tsunade cocked her head to the side. "Do it look like I care if you were aware that your leader was dead? The fact is that you attacked us and voided our treaty. You're lucky I haven't attacked you yet," she said. "She is right," Temari spoke up. "Temari, you don't understand politics yet, let us handle this," one of the council members said. "I understand it more than you think, and we are lucky Konoha hasn't attacked us in retaliation for attacking them, and we all noticed how they have been acting more distant in the months before the attack. I propose an alliance that can't be broken," Temari said. "Oh, I should have brought Shikamaru, you two would get along well. What is this alliance you proposed?" Tsunade asked. "A marriage contract. I'm willing to sign the contract to marry into one of Konoha's well-respected clans, but I get to choose who I get to marry," Temari said. "What, Temari, are you strongest Kunoichi? We can't allow this. We already have to pay with a year's worth of A and S ranked missions. We can't lose you to," several members yelled. "I will think about that proposal. Until I come up with an answer, you will be the liaison between Konoha and Suna. During this time you will meet and get to know the different heirs that you will have the choice of marrying. Also, any work between Konoha and Suna will be done between you and someone I chose," Tsunade said. "I agree with Temari," saying he is ignoring the council. But Tsunade stood up. "Temari, how can you do this?" someone yelled. "You're supposed to marry my son," he finished. "This is bigger than me or your son. Besides, I never agreed to that contract. I told you I would weigh my options. So far this is the best option to prevent war with Konoha, a war we cannot afford or hope to win," Temari said. Break. Tsunade was walking towards a restaurant while still in Suna. She had a craving for steak and rice. As she closed in on the closest restaurant, she was attacked, but was easily stopped by her black ops. "Chakrapish," Naruto whispered as he stopped the punch with one hand and forced chakra out his other hand, knocking the genin back a few feet. Ino disabled another genin easily, then kicked him away. "Hokage-sama, please drink this to cancel out the poison that was in the powder he threw at you," she said, giving her a small vial with some clear liquid in it. Hinata quickly struck the final genin, sending her flying back. "Formation 2," she said. Ino fell back, so she was standing in front of Tsunade just off to the right. Hinata was standing in front of her just off to the left. Naruto was standing directly behind Tsunade as he made sure no one made a move towards her. Tsunade handed the empty vial back to Ino. "Standing down," she told them. Once they relaxed, she stepped towards the girl. "Why did you attack me?" she asked nicely. "Sensei said you were the enemy. I will protect Suna until I die," she said. Tsunade smiled. "Well, no need to attack me anymore. We are allies," she said. "But Sensei said Konoha was the enemy," the girl repeated. "Don't worry, we all were misled. They had a grudge against Konoha, but it's solved now, no need to attack them," Temari said, running up to them. "Temari-sama," the girl said in surprise. "I told you not to call me that, and the Hokage-sama just came to work out a new alliance that can't be broken," Temari said. "So they are not the enemy?" the girl asked. "Nope," Temari said. "Good, they are strong. I couldn't even hit them," the girl said. "They are the Hokage's mama's personal bodyguards," Temari said. "Well, if you will excuse me, I want some steak and rice," Tsunade said and continued towards the restaurant as if nothing happened. Break. Tsunade was in her office with her black ops standing in front of her waiting for their orders. "We have a problem," she said. "What's that?" Hokage-sama, Hinata asked. "Jiraiya and Anko both want to take Naruto and Ino out of the village for extended training, which will leave me with only one black ops for 2 years," she said. "If I may, I think I have a solution," Hinata said. Tsunade asked. "Why not bring Hana and Tenten down from the Anbu and serve as Black Ops for 2 years? They could use this as training for the Anbu, since all Black Ops can advance to the Anbu at any point," Hinata said. Tsunade nodded. "I like that idea. Ino and Naruto both leave tomorrow at noon," she told them. Naruto looked confused at Tsunade. "Won't leaving the village cut into our Black Ops training?" he asked. "Yes, normally you wouldn't be allowed to leave until it's over, but since you're being trained by Jiraiya, he can continue your Black Ops training and your apprentice training at the same time," Tsunade said. "But won't we miss some important Black Ops stuff?" Naruto continued to ask. Look Naruto, you're going with Jiraiya and that's final. If you want to stay in the village so bad, then tell Jiraiya you no longer want to be his apprentice and you will continue your training here in the village for the next 2 years. Tsunade said in frustration. Sorry, I'll be quiet. Naruto sensed that he was getting annoyed. Look, I know you're just taking your duty as a Black Ops serious, but trust me, you need this training Jiraiya is going to give you. Tsunade told him in a calm manner. What about me, can't Anko train me here in the village? Ino asked. She can, but I told her to do it outside the village. Tsunade said. Why? Ino asked, confused. Because, the council still hates Anko's guts and will never let her completely train you without someone there watching, and I'm not going to risk your training being interrupted by them. It's better for you and Anko to do this outside the village. You both will officially be on an S-ranked mission for 2 years. Tsunade said. Ino gets an S-ranked mission just to train. Naruto yelled. You're on an S-ranked mission also. Tsunade calmly stated. Oh. Was all Naruto said. Any questions about Hinata? Tsunade asked since she was the only one not to say anything about this. Well, not really about the training, but about why you yelled at me saying I was still banned from the Uchiha compound. By rights I should be allowed in whenever I want. Hinata said. True, you should, but you're not, at least not yet. Tsunade said. Why not? Hinata asked. Because Sasuke is still the owner of that compound and he never gave you permission to enter. Unless you want to go look for him to get permission to enter, you are banned from it like everyone else. Tsunade said. But I'm an Uchiha, my mother is an Uchiha. I should have been allowed to enter once I unlocked my Sharingan. Hinata almost yelled. Tsunade nodded. I know you should, but unless Sasuke comes and hands it over to you, you can't enter it yet. She said. What about Rayu and Sophia, they both are Uchihas. Can they enter it? Hinata asked. No, they lost rights to enter it when they denounced their Uchiha heritage after Sophia was kicked out the clan for not activating her Sharingan. Tsunade said. She then looked at Hinata's hopeless face. Maybe there is a way to make you owner of the Uchiha assets, since Sasuke is a traitor. She said. Hinata looked at her with hope. Really, how? She asked. If what I have in mind is true, then since you're the last loyal Uchiha who didn't denounce their heritage, you can become the active head of the clan immediately. She said. What are you thinking? Hinata asked. The door opened and Shizune and Ku walked in. Tsunade, I was thinking about something Shizune told me you said. Ku said immediately. What is that, Ku? As you can see, I'm busy. Tsunade growled out at the interruption. Ku and Shizune looked at the other three. Sorry, I didn't think you would be busy now. Shizune said. Just get on with it. Tsunade said. You said Hinata was banned from the Uchiha compound at the moment, right? Ku asked. Yes, we were just talking about that. Tsunade said. Well, I don't know Lily all that well, but I did know her enough to know that she would never denounce her heritage, just in case she unlocked her Sharingan. By that, shouldn't Hinata automatically become clan head, since she is the only loyal Uchiha who is still an Uchiha, according to the Uchiha logbooks? Ku asked. Tsunade smiled. You just might have given Hinata the keys to the compound and everything that belongs to the Uchihas in the village. She said. She then snapped her fingers, and an Anbu team appeared, retrieving the Uchiha logbooks at once. She said. What did you know about my mother? Hinata asked Ku. We had a mutual respect for one another, but never were really friends. Oddly enough, we worked well enough together to be sent on S-ranked missions that normally would have taken a few. Ku said. So she was strong? Hinata asked. She was an ninjutsu expert. Actually, you're a lot like her in that respect, although you need to refine your thinking process a little to be on her level. Ku responded. I'm working on that. Hinata said, smiling. So you're really letting Iro old man take my son for 2 years? Ku asked. Yay, he requested it to complete his apprentice and Black Ops training in the shortest amount of time possible. Tsunade said. I guess that makes sense. If he was still in the village he would get distracted by missions. Ku said. If he's anything like you, which he is, he will be distracted by more than just missions. Tsunade said, smirking. Hey, I am not that easily distracted. Ku pouted. Tsunade asked, raising an eyebrow, then looked out the window, looking like a flying toad. She said. Where? Ku and Naruto said at the same time and ran to the window looking for a flying toad. Everyone else but Tsunade's sweat dropped. And you say you're not easily distracted? Tsunade commented. No fair, you know I like toads. Ku said, huffing. Yay, like I said, easily distracted. Tsunade said. Naruto was just glad he still had his mask on because he was blushing with embarrassment at the moment. The Anbu came back. We have the books. One of them said as they sat 5 large books on her desk. Tsunade looked through the books as fast as possible. Well, after all that reading I can tell you that the Uchihas was one fucked up family. She said. Did it say anything about my mother though? Hinata asked. Oh yay, she never denounced her Uchiha name, you're the rightful owner of all the Uchiha property now. Tsunade said. So I can now go there whenever I want to? Hinata asked. Yay sure, now get out, I have work to do, and don't forget Naruto and Ino, you leave tomorrow at noon. Tsunade said. Hinata walked out and pulled Naruto, come to the Uchiha compound with me? She asked. Okay. Naruto said. Naruto and Hinata walked into Kurenai's apartment after taking a long hot bath to get the smell off them, and dinner was ready. Kurenai said. Good, I'm starving. Hinata said. Me too, Hina-chan wouldn't let me get some ramen. Naruto complained. Well, I have more than enough for you. Kurenai said. I was thinking, would you move into the Uchiha compound with me? Hinata asked Kurenai. Of course I will. Kurenai answered. Break. Ku walked in Hinata's room to wake her and saw Naruto in her bed with Hinata's head on his chest. She looked at them trying to determine if they did anything when Anko walked in. Are you going to wake them or just watch them? She asked. Do you think they did anything last night? Ku asked. Anko looked at them and she approached the bed and pulled the blanket to find both were still dressed in their bed clothes. Nope. She said. Hinata's eyes fluttered open. What's going on? She asked. Breakfast is ready. Ku said. Oh, I'll wake Neru-kun. Hinata said, wiping the sleep from her eyes. And Ku. She called. Yes. Ku answered. We didn't do anything. Hinata said. Ku looked at her and smiled. I know, hurry up and wake him before you miss breakfast. She said as she walked out. Break. Tsunade stood in front of the gate where Naruto and Ino was getting ready to leave to continue their apprentice training. Okay you two, it is unusual that a Black Ops be allowed to leave the village for long periods of time before their training is over, but Jiraiya and Anko are special cases and require me to alter the rules a little to complete your training. So be sure to take full advantage of it. She said. When I come back I'm going to be the strongest ninja ever, Granny. Naruto declared. What did you call me? Tsunade asked. Granny. Naruto repeated. Tsunade punched him in the head. Don't call me that. She yelled. Anko doesn't corrupt Ino too much. Kurenai said. I'm not making any promises. Anko said with a smile. Naruto, you better have your elements mastered when you get back or you will regret it. Ku said. Hey, I haven't even mastered our bloodline yet. Naruto said. Well, you better put those clones to good use. Ku said. I'm going to miss you, Mom. Naruto said. I'm going to miss you too. Ku said. Hinata grabbed Naruto and kissed him. Write to me soon. She said once she let him go. Naruto wobbled a bit. Sure thing. He said. Jiraiya laughed. Time to leave, brat. He said. Don't turn my son into a pervert or I'll cut your balls off. Ku threatened. Thus to Princess. Anko said, mocking her apprentice. One of these days I'm going to make you stop calling me that. Ino said as she followed Anko. The day you do that will be the day your apprenticeship is over. Anko said. Break. Naruto was following Jiraiya when they passed the Great Naruto Bridge. Hey perverted sage, can we stop and wave? Naruto asked. Why, we are on a tight schedule. Jiraiya asked. I want to check something, it's important. Naruto said. Fine, but you have 10 minutes. Jiraiya said and waited as he ran across the bridge. Naruto ran across wave until he came to a familiar house. Hey Tsunami. He called. Tsunami turned when she heard her name. Naruto. How are you? She asked. I'm fine, I remember Inari saying he wanted to be a ninja. Naruto said. Yay, he's been trying to convince me to move to Konoha. Tsunami said with a laugh. Well, I have something for him. He gave her a scroll that explains chakra and how to access it. If he can complete that scroll within the next year he will be able to enroll in the academy in Konoha if you decide to move there. He explained. Oh, he will love this. Will you stay until he comes back with father? Tsunami asked. I can't, I have to get back before my perverted sensei gets impatient and leaves me. Naruto said. Oh well, you better run along. Tsunami said. Bye, I'll visit you again soon. Naruto said as he ran away. He was almost at the bridge when he felt a familiar chakra and went to check it. You remember me, right, Naruto? The person asked. Yes, I thought you were dead. Naruto said. Well, I guess I got lucky, I was found by a passing medic and they healed me. He said. What will you do now? Naruto asked. Don't know. He responded. You can come train with me. Naruto suggested. If it wouldn't be any problem with me coming. He said. Don't worry, pervy sage wouldn't mind. Naruto said. Well, lead on. He said. Naruto ran across the bridge with a person. Brat. Who is this? Jiraiya asked. This is Haku. I fought him during the wave mission. He is really strong. He beat me and Sasuke at the same time. Naruto said. Why is he here? Jiraiya asked. He wants to join us, he has nowhere to go. Naruto said. Jiraiya looked at him. If I remember the mission report correctly, do you have a bloodline? He asked. Yes, I can use it. Haku said. What do you have to offer us if we let you come with us? Jiraiya asked. Haku thought, I have Zabuza-sama's head clever, I'm a trained medic, I already have high skills, and a sparring partner for Naruto-san. He said. Jiraiya looked at him, if I let him join it will be more time to see the beautiful ladies he thought, okay you can join, but give me the clever one. I was going to give it to Naruto-san as a sign of friendship. Haku said. Fine, Brat gives him your katana, it's the ultimate sign of friendship and trust. Jiraiya said they exchanged weapons, now what that does is it unofficially makes you rivals and best friends, with the exchanging of weapons you can't betray the other. He told them. Hinata huffed in boredom as she looked up at the clouds, I'm so bored. She complained. Do you have to be so loud? Shikamaru asked. You're supposed to be helping me become a better shogi player, not watch clouds, Hinata said, annoyed. Your problem is not playing shogi. Shikamaru told her. Hinata turned to him once he stopped talking. Are you going to tell me what my problem is, besides thinking too much? She asked. Shikamaru yawned, no, if I did that then this entire cloud watching session was pointless, he told her, then got up to leave, just remember what it is about Naruto that you like, and you should be able to figure out what your problem is, if you're as smart as I think you are. He said before walking off. Hinata stared at his retreating figure before she got up and walked off in frustration. She walked into her apartment and saw Kurenai sitting on the couch reading, you're back early. She said. Kurenai looked at her, what's wrong? She asked. Everything. Hinata said. Kurenai patted the spot next to her, talking about it. She said. Hinata sat down, first I miss Naruto-kun. Second, Rayu is the worst sensei ever. All he does is tell me what I'm doing wrong, like I don't know that already. Third is me playing shogi, which has nothing to do with being a kunoichi. The worst thing is he has Shikamaru as my shogi instructor, at first it was Yoshino, but after a while he thought it would be funny to have her son teach me, but all he had me do was watch clouds. She complained. Kurenai patiently listened, what's wrong with Shikamaru teaching you to play shogi, he is the best player in the village. She asked. Nothing if he would actually teach me, all we have done in the month he has been teaching me is watch clouds, stupid boring clouds. Hinata said in frustration. Kurenai nodded knowing she would get frustrated also, I don't know much about playing shogi, in fact I may be the worst player out of all but I do know Shikamaru always have a plan, it may not be what you want, but in the end he always achieves his goal. Maybe him having you watch clouds is simply to get you frustrated, so you can't think straight. She said. Hinata thought about it, that does sound like something he would do. She agreed. So humor him and play his game until he finally plays you, but do it under your conditions, meaning don't get so damn frustrated over it, and when you play him make him have to work to actually beat him. That should earn his respect as a shogi player and get him to take you seriously. Kurenai advised. Break. Hanabi sat at a park bench with her legs swinging under her as she waited on Hinata. She held a picnic basket on her lap with a huge smile, Ku has secretly been teaching her to cook among other things, and she finally succeeded in making a small meal. She saw Hinata enter the park and jumped on the bench waving to her, Hinata over here, hurry up I have a surprise. She called out. Nice to see you too. Hinata said once she was next to her. I made lunch. Hanabi announced. Really, since when did you know how to cook? Hinata asked. Ku has been teaching me, I have been learning for almost a year now. Hanabi said. Wow that's great, Hinata said she looked to the sky, does it only seem longer? She asked. Hanabi looked at her then shoved some rice into her mouth. Break. Naruto laughed loudly while Haku looked at him annoyed by the loudness of his laugh. Do you have to be so loud? He asked. You have to admit that prank was funny. Naruto said through his laughs. Excuse me sir, if you continue to disturb other customers I will have to ask you to leave. A waiter told him. Sorry for my friend, he was raised to be an idiot. Haku told him. Hey I'm not an idiot, you're an idiot. Naruto yelled. Naruto shut up before you get us kicked out of another restaurant. Haku hissed at him. Naruto glared at him but quieted down, fine. He huffed. Thank you, enjoy your meal. The waiter said and walked away. As the two were talking Jiraiya walked up to them and grabbed their books that were on the table and opened both of them. Good we are done in this town, you have 5 minutes before I leave. He said and walked out. Haku stood up and grabbed his book. I still don't get the point of these books. Why do we need them if we have to write everything we know on a scroll? He asked. I don't know, but it helps pass the time. Naruto replied as he grabbed his book. Why did you go back to orange clothes if you like the red so much? Haku asked. Because red was my mom's color and I really like orange, why did you change to white? Naruto asked. It fits my fighting style. Haku told him. How is it possible for a color to fit a fighting style? Naruto asked. The same way that orange fits your personality. Haku told him, then walked out, leaving Naruto in a confused state. Break. Ino looked at the antidotes that were in front of her and hesitated before picking one up. Wrong, everyone is now dead. How do you feel killing all of your friends? Anko asked. This is not fair, I can't concentrate with you right there yelling nonsense in my ear. Ino complained. How many times do I have to go over this? No matter what happens in the outside world, when dealing with poisons you have to be able to shut everything out. Do you think you will have time to concentrate in the middle of a war, and you need to find out what type of poison is killing your friends, then come up with an antidote before it wipe everyone out? Anko asked. But I'm not in a war and no one's life is in danger, I'm training. Ino countered. Anko looked at her, really, is that how you feel? She then grabbed one of the poisons and drank it before grabbing all the other poisons and antidotes and putting them in a bag. Now find the antidote or I will die. She told her to throw the bag. Are you serious? Ino asked in shock. Time is ticking, I can already feel myself starting to sweat and grow hot. Anko told her. Ino panicked while dumping everything out the bag and scrambling around for the correct antidote. Break. Anko slowly opened her eyes and found that she was in a hospital. Slowly she sat up. Don't move, you were poisoned. The nurse said. I know, where is the blonde-haired blue-eyed girl that brought me here? Anko asked. She went to the bathroom. Mind if I ask how you got poisoned? It's rare that someone gets poisoned around here. The nurse asked. Anko shrugged. I poisoned myself. She said. How? The nurse asked, confused. I drank a bottle of poison. Anko answered as if it was common sense. Why? The nurse asked. Why are you asking so many questions? Anko asked. Because I'm a nurse and it's my job to find out how our patients became hospitalized. The nurse answered as if it was common sense. Fine, I'm a ninja and my field is poisons and assassinations. I was training my apprentice. Anko said. That was reckless if you ask me, you should be dead. The nurse said. It's a risk that comes with the job. Anko said. Ino opened the door and Anko looked at her. What did we learn? She immediately asked. That's your psycho. Ino answered. Anko laughed. Yes, that is something to learn if you didn't already know, but what did you learn from your test? She asked. That I do know what I'm supposed to do, I just have trouble putting what I practice into real life. Ino answered. Anko thought this over. Maybe it's not you who is making the mistake but me. She said. What do you mean? Ino asked. Well, I spent the last year lecturing you on poisons, how to create them, how to diagnose them, how to identify them and how to create antidotes for them, but you're still having trouble putting what you already know into actual situations unless forced to. Anko told her. So what do we do? Ino asked. The easiest is to change the way you're trained. Anko told her. What's wrong with how I'm trained? It's working so far. I know a lot more about poisons than I could have ever hoped. Ino told her. Yes, but I'm teaching you the way I thought you would learn best. It's obvious that you don't learn by being lectured, but by doing, so for now on you're going to put everything you learned into use every day by creating your own poisons and antidotes. Anko told her. Break. Jiraiya looked over the scroll detailing the mission. Who is the target? He asked. I don't know who the target is exactly, just that she is very powerful. The man said. Why should I take this mission? I am a very busy person and don't have time to play cat and mouse with you. Jiraiya asked. Look, we have been fighting for years. If you can do this, it will cut off the support they are receiving and we can end the fighting. The man said. What do you two think? Jiraiya asked. The man looked around Jiraiya and saw Naruto and Haku who were standing there with masks over their faces. It would give us something to do besides training. Haku said. I just want to kick someone's ass. Naruto said. Will you do it? The man asked. This better be worth my time. Jiraiya said and walked out. So when will we go kill the old hag? Naruto asked. We leave immediately, get ready. Jiraiya said. Naruto and Haku walked away from Jiraiya. Finally some action. Naruto said in excitement. I must admit it is good to finally have someone I can cut loose on. Haku said. The two looked in the windows of the various stores as they walked past. Hey, look at those. Naruto said, pointing to two katanas that were in a unique weapons shop window. Haku stopped and looked at the items. Never seen a katana like those. He said. Want to go try them out? Naruto asked. Sure, why not? Haku said as they entered the shop. Welcome, is there anything I can do to help you? The shopkeeper asked. Yes, we were wondering about those katanas. Naruto said. Oh, the ice katana and wind katana, they are quite unique and from what I understand are one of the only 5 created. The shopkeeper said. How much are they? Naruto asked. We don't have time for this, we have a mission to remember. Haku said. Hey, I want that wind katana, I'm a wind user, it would work great with my element. Naruto said. Break. Naruto and Haku stood in the middle of the road completely motionless. Naruto was wearing a standard ninja pants that was orange, he had on an orange mesh shirt, over the outfit he had an orange cloak that went down to the ground, he had his newly bought katana on his back over his right shoulder, he also was wearing his black mask that was framed by his growing blonde bangs. Haku was wearing a standard Kiri ninja outfit, except it was completely white, over the outfit he had an orange cloak that went down to the ground, he had his newly bought katana on his back over his left shoulder, he was wearing a white mask. Both wore black protection gloves with a metal plate on the back. As the wind blew, the bottom of their cloak flew open, then immediately closed as the wind stopped. Naruto's hair withstood gravity in a messy fashion, while Haku's hair went straight down, reaching the middle of his back. As they stood, two kunoichis walked up and stopped a few feet away from them. One of the ninjas was wearing a light purple jacket that went to the ground, with a katana on her back over her right shoulder, she had on a black mask, and had long hair. The second ninja was wearing a black Chinese shirt that stopped to 6 inches above her belly button, black princess gloves, black baggy pants that stopped 6 inches above her ankles, and black boots. Her hair was tied up in 2 buns with poisoned. The top of her black mask was partially covered by her. On her back was 2 katanas in an X with a staff over them. On her left arm, on her bicep just above where her gloves stopped, was a small poisoned dagger. On either hip she had 2 scrolls. On her lower back was a huge scroll. Naruto and Haku looked at the second ninja and all the weapons. This is going to be painful. Naruto whispered. Haku just nodded in agreement. Is there a reason you're preventing us from continuing on this road? The first ninja asked in a demanding female voice. You two will go no further down this path, turn back and we won't have to hurt you. Haku said. The second pulled the large scroll off her back. I don't think you understand, move or we will kill you. She said, opening her scroll. Both Naruto and Haku grabbed their katanas. Naruto's katana immediately was surrounded by wind as it was coming out its sheath. Haku's katana immediately started to freeze. Let's settle this. Naruto said and vanished. He was met by the first kunoichi who pulled out her katana as well. While they were testing each other out, Haku immediately went on the defensive as the second kunoichi started her first assault with her many weapons. To Haku's surprise, she wasn't just throwing weapons at him in a random pattern, he quickly found himself within a circle of weapons, with the kunoichi standing ready with one of the many weapons she threw, a very long chain side with a spike on the other end. She was spinning it waiting for him to make a move. Naruto was faring better in a battle of evenly matched skills with a katana. We can do this all day, it's clear that neither has the advantage over the other. He said. You do not want to fight me in a taijutsu or ninjutsu battle. Kunoichi warned him. Don't underestimate me. Naruto growled out and kicked her away before putting his katana back into its place. I warned you. The kunoichi sighed before vanishing and attacking with an open palm. Haku was breathing hard as his opponent was running in a circle around him. He followed her movements before sending a trail of ice from his katana towards the spot in front of him, making his opponent stop before she hit the ice and was frozen in place. Haku faced her, then ran at her with his katana frozen and ready to freeze her. The kunoichi pulled out one of her katanas and it immediately grew a flame on it and she ran at him. Naruto punched at the kunoichi and she blocked while sending her chakra into his arm, making it useless. Naruto jumped back in surprise. He asked in surprise. Close enough. She told him before attacking again. Hey wait. Naruto said frantically while jumping further away from her. What now? She asked, annoyed. We both serve the same cage. He said while pulling off his mask. Naruto-kun? The kunoichi asked in surprise. Hinata-chan? Naruto asked. She took her mask off and smiled before she kissed him. They were interrupted by the sound of an explosion and looked at the other two. Ten, are you okay? Hinata asked. Tenten looked at her as the smoke cleared. It was clear that she wasn't done with her opponent, but that quickly changed. Naruto. She exclaimed and vanished before crushing him in the sisterly hug only she could give. Have you grown taller? She teased. Haha, very funny. Naruto said. Haku looked at Naruto and the girl he was currently holding. I'm guessing that is that Hinata girl you kept talking about. Who is the other? He asked quickly, putting a face to her name. Yup, and that's one of my best friends, Tenten. Naruto said with a smile. Well, hello, nice to meet you, I'm Haku. He said. Just so you know, I won that battle. Tenten said immediately. I did tell you that she is the most competitive person you will ever meet. Naruto asked. Yay. Haku answered. Jiraiya walked up to them while writing something. Hinata, Tenten, why are you here? He asked. We came here to tell Sai about Tsunade sensei coming here on behalf of Snow Country to end the fighting. Hinata informed him. Really? Well, let's go. Jiraiya said and led the four back to Frost Country. So how has training been? Hinata asked as she held Naruto tightly around his waist and her head leaning on his shoulder. Good, I learned a lot of stuff. Naruto said. So you're the Hyuga who hates Hyugas? Haku asked. Yes. Hinata said nicely, he was new, he didn't know not to mention Hyuga around her yet unless you were referring to Hanabi. Why would a Hyuga hate Hyugas? Haku asked. Haku stops with the Hyuga stuff. Naruto warned. I'm curious, you wouldn't tell me about it, and if we are going to be friends, I think I should know so I can know who to stay away from. Haku countered. Trust me Haku, when it comes to them, stay away or Hinata-chan will be your enemy. Naruto told him. Still, doesn't she have a mother Hyuga, sister Hyuga, brother Hyuga, or father Hyuga? Haku asked. You're too curious for your own good. Tenten told him. Well, I think it's stupid to hate your entire family. Haku said. Hinata started to squeeze tighter on Naruto trying to control herself. Haku, please drop it. Naruto practically begged him. Haku, something is not for everyone to know. Jiraiya told him. Break. Anko looked on as Ino quickly went through the flowers in front of her and made a poison and an antidote. She turned to Anko. What did I do? She asked. Anko looked at the poison and antidote. I will make a poison expert out of you in no time. She said with a smile. Break. Deep inside a cave with absolutely no natural light stood a shinobi dressed in a long black cloak with red clouds on it. His blue partner, who was dressed the same, looked at him. When are we going after the kid? He asked. The first ninja looked at him with his Sharingan. We are waiting on Leader Sama to give us our official order. He said. There was a shimmer of light as a figure appeared in a rainbow of color. Itachi and kiss him, your target is the eight-tailed. The figure said. I thought we were supposed to bring the nine-tailed, Kisame asked. It would be foolish to send you two after him when you're clearly stronger than everyone else. You need to bring in the eight-tailed because both of your abilities will be able to negate his ability to use his demon's chakra. The figure said. Leader Sama, do you have any information on the eight-tailed? All the information I have is on the eight-tailed. Itachi asked. Yes, he lives in Kumo. He is the younger brother of the Raikage. He has a team that just became Chunins, but be careful because they are very powerful for their age, especially the brother and sister. He has complete control over his demon. The figure said. Thank you Leader Sama, we will be on our way. Itachi said. I'm curious, who will you send after the nine-tailed, Kisame asked. Bikuzu and Haiden will go after him, Sasori will go after the two-tailed, while Dadara after the one-tailed. The figure said. Break. Orochimaru walked out of his hideout and saw Sasuke had the special sound outfit, except it was open in the front, showing his shirtless upper body. He also had it attached to his lower back. He had a Chidori in his hand. Sasuke, enough, come inside, we have something to go over. He said. Sasuke looked back at Orochimaru with his Sharingan before the Chidori died out and he walked into the hideout. They walked into a meeting hall with a bunch of people, most who Sasuke didn't know or want to know. I have decided to create another team. This one will be called Snake. It will include Sasuke as the leader. The other members will be Karen, Jugo, and Sujetsu. He said. What's the meaning of this? Sasuke clearly was not pleased with this new team. The meaning is to remind people that Odo is not to be forgotten. Konoha thinks that attacking at the exams was the end of us. That was just phase 1 of my plan to destroy them. Also, we need to remind Akatsuki that we are a threat. Orochimaru said. Itachi is part of Akatsuki. Sasuke said. Yes, you will get your chance at him soon enough, but don't forget that Hinata girl, she beat up easily during the exams and will be a bigger threat now. Orochimaru. Break. Shizune looked over the work Sakura just finished. This is not good. She said. What do you mean, did I get too many wrong? Sakura asked, worried that she got something wrong. No, you answered them all correctly. Shizune told her. So what's wrong? Sakura asked. What's wrong is the fact that you're rapidly catching Hinata as the best apprentice I'm currently training. She takes her medic serious and prides herself on being the best medic. The fact that you're catching her so fast means that by this time next year you will have surpassed her and claimed the spot as the best medic. Tsunade said. Why is that so bad? I thought competition was good. Sakura asked. It's bad because medics is the one thing that Hinata was previously unchallenged in. It was clear at an early stage that she would quickly outshine every other medic after her apprenticeship was over. Now I may have to rethink my decision to name Hinata the future head of the hospital and on giving my title as best medic in the world to her. Tsunade told her. Sakura looked at her in confusion, making Tsunade sigh. It means that you will soon be the world's greatest medic while Hinata has to settle for second best. She cleared for her. And we all know how Hinata takes being second best in anything. Shizune said. I'm sure Hinata will understand. I work hard at medics, unlike her it's the only thing I seem to be good at. Sakura said in hope. I hope it will be that simple. Tsunade said. Tsunade-sama, we have to leave so we can make it to Frost Country in time for the meeting. Shizune said. Hinata walked into the Hokage's tower, mask on and ready for business. The last year of training for her was intense. She spent hours upon hours mastering everything she knew while trying to perfect her. When she arrived she wasn't surprised to see Tenten and Hana already there. They each had black masks on, differentiating them from other Anbus. Tsunade looked over them while nodding to herself. She looked over the reports of their training for the last 2 years. You all are eligible for Anbu. She said. Yes, Hokage-sama. They said in unison. There was a soft knock before the door was opened. Shisho, Hiruka had split the academy up into their teams. She said. Hinata heard her voice and got irritated by it. I will not be passed up by her as the best medic. She declared in her head. Tsunade nodded. Before you become Anbus, you three will be part of the new group of senseis. This more than just being part of the new generation of, you are going to be evaluated on your leadership and how well you can prepare a team of subordinates for life. Here are the reports of your genins. She said, giving them each a folder and dismissing them. Break. Hinata, Tenten, and Hana walked into the classroom with their masks on. Hana stepped up first. Team 6 was I and Now. The twins got up and walked to the front of the class. Both had short white hair with bright green eyes and a tanto strapped to their backs. The final student is Sadao Shuji. Hana finished calling out. The boy who walked up was the tallest of the three and had a huge broadsword on his back. His hair was jet black and his eyes were obsidian. Hinata stepped up next. Teammate will consist of Hanabi Hyuga, Hei Jeku, and Nawaki Senji. She said in confusion of the last two, she never heard of these children. Heiate looked exactly like his father, except without the sick look he often had. He also had a katana strapped to his back. Nawaki had a perfectly round face with short spiky hair that was light brown. Actually it reminded her of Naruto's hair. He also had a katana strapped to his back. Tenten looked up from her folders. Team 9 will consist of Aiki, Aiko, Aimiyum. She called out. The triplets each got up and skipped down to their new sensei. Each had long white hair and dark red eyes. Tenten sighed when she looked at them. I need a way to differentiate them apart, she thought. For Team 7 will be Konohamaru, Mogi, and Yuden, and you will meet your sensei at Ichiraku Ramen. Team 8 will be Ichiro Yamanaka, Shikanu Nara, and Choma Akamichi, and you will meet your sensei at Amiguriyama. Hiruka told them. Break. 3 ninjas in training were sitting waiting on their sensei to wake up. The newest member of the group, a green-haired female, looked at the blonde, Tuta-kun. Are you sure they will accept me? She asked quietly. Of course they will. Unlike Waterfall Village, Konoha will not turn their back on those who need help. Naruto assured her. But I have the 7-tailed demon sealed in me. She told him. I have the 9-tailed demon, trust me Fu, they will love you, you're so lovable. Naruto told her with a smile. They heard a moan before they saw Jiraiya's head poke out of his tent. Is there any more fish? He asked through a yawn. Sure is Jiraiya-sensei, want me to get you some? Fu asked happily. Yes thank you Fu. Jiraiya then shot Naruto a look. Why can't you have the respect she has? Naruto smiled at him, because you're Iro-senin. He declared. Jiraiya groaned as Fu giggled. Here you go Jiraiya-sensei. She said, handing him the food. Get packed. I want to be back in Konoha within 2 hours. He said. Break. Anko looked over at Ino as she packed up her last few poisons and antidotes she created. Anko didn't want to admit it to anyone, but training Ino in her fields of expertise was a lot of fun and assured her that she will always have an heir, even if she never had any kids. Ino looked at her and smiled once she finished packing. Shisho, where are we going now? She asked. Anko just smiled. She loved when Ino called her home. She told her. 2 hours later. Jiraiya led his charges up to the village and was surprised to meet up with Anko and Ino. So whose are the 2 new kids? Anko asked. Haku and Fu. Haku is someone that Naruto knew from a previous mission and Fu, well we kind of saved her and she has been with us ever since. Jiraiya told her. Oh wow this place is so big. Fu exclaimed once she saw the village. Naruto grinned. Yes if you think it's big now wait until you get inside it, it will take you weeks to learn where everything is. You will be my guide right Tuta-kun? Fu asked cheerfully. Of course, but first you need to meet my friends, my mom, and Granny Tsunade. Naruto told her. Tuta-kun, who is the blonde she keeps looking at me? Fu asked. Ueno-chan is super nice once you get to know her, it's Hina-chan you have to worry about. Naruto told her. Fu nodded thinking, that's your girlfriend right, the one who hates the Hyugas? She asked. Yup. Naruto told her. Do you think she will like me? Fu asked. Brats were here. Jiraiya told them. Brother we need to talk, now. Ino finally said. What's wrong? Naruto asked following her away from the others. Is there something you need to tell me? Ino asked while crossing her arms over her chest. Naruto thought, no why? He asked. Why is that girl so familiar with you? You're not cheating on Hinata-chan, are you? Ino asked while glaring at him. But no, Ino, how could you think that? Naruto asked while waving his arms in front of him. Oh, how could I think that? Tuta-kun this, Tuta-kun that, Tuta-kun is so funny, Tuta-kun is so brave, Tuta-kun will they like me? Ino said in her best Fu impression, which sounded exactly just like the girl. Ino-chan, nothing is going on, I promise, we just connect. Naruto said. Ino raised an eyebrow at him. Connect? She asked clearly, needing elaboration. She is the seven-tailed, we saved her from Akatsuki a year ago, and she has been with us since, we became good friends, nothing more. Naruto explained. Well, you better make sure she realizes that your relationship is purely friendship and nothing more. Ino said. She knows, she never had any friends. Naruto said. Ino nodded, let's catch up with them. She said. As they walked back to the group, Naruto looked at Ino. You know, you and Fu act alike. He said. Jiraiya clapped his hands before Ino could say anything. Well, troops on to see our friendly Hokage. He said. Naruto pointed to the biggest building in the village. See that building, Fu, that's the Hokage's tower. He said. Brace you there. Fu said before taking off laughing loudly. Cheater. Naruto yelled before he was gone also. Just what I need, another Naruto. Anko said as she watched him run off. Fu is actually pleasant to be around, she is very respectful to those who she respects. Jiraiya said. How can anyone respect you? Anko asked. Jiraiya-sama is very worthy of his respect. Sophia said, walking up to them. Anko rolled her eyes, you're only saying that because he can beat your brother. Sophia shrugged, maybe, but I have a lot of respect for Jiraiya-sama for more reasons than that. As much as I like to hear why people respect me, we need to go meet Tsunade before the brats do something to get themselves killed. Jiraiya said. Break. Hinata was walking with her newly appointed Genin team. Each Genin had on a white mask that she bought and instructed them on how and when to wear it. Each mask had an animal face on it. Jekuhei wore a cat mask, Nawaki Senju wore a slug mask, and Hanabi Hyuga wore an eagle mask. As they walked, Hinata saw a glimpse of orange Naruto-kun. She whispered and sped up her walk into a run with her Genin trying to keep up. Naruto and Fu stopped just in front of the Hokage's tower laughing. I won Tuta-kun. Fu declared. You cheated. Naruto laughed. Fu stuck her tongue out at him playfully. All is fair in a race with A, she told him. Is that so? Naruto asked before he jumped at her and started to tickle her. Ahahaha, Tuta-kun, stop, I can't breathe. She laughed out. Not until you admit to cheating. He said laughing while he tickled her sides. Before she could say anything, Naruto was thrown off her and held against a tower by an indigo-haired kunoichi wearing a black mask. Fu jumped up in alarm ready to attack. Let go of Tuta-kun. She yelled. So this is what you were doing in the time you were gone, Naruto-kun? When were you going to tell me? She asked in a voice that sounded hurt. It was tackled off a stunned Naruto by Fu, who pinned her down and looked at her with dark green eyes. Do not attack Tuta-kun again, or I will kill you. She threatened. Fu, enough. Jiraiya's voice boomed through the air with authority. Fu got off her and stepped back, but didn't take her eyes off the masked kunoichi who attacked her best friend. Tsunade appeared in the doorway. What the hell is going on out here? She demanded. Not here in your office. Jiraiya said seriously. Tsunade looked at him, then nodded. Followed me. She said and led them to her office. Once everyone was in her office, Tsunade sat on her desk and looked over everyone. Remove your mask. She told Hinata. Hinata quickly took off her mask. Now who wants to start? She asked. I will. Naruto said quickly. Okay, from the beginning. Tsunade instructed him. When me and Iro-Senin left the village for training, we stopped at Wave. Well, there I met up with Haku, who I thought died on my first C-ranked mission. He was saved by a passing medic and they healed him, so he joined us. About a year later we heard about Akatsuki attacking for the demons we carry. We found them when they was attacking A. We kind of saved her, but I think it was more that they saw Iro-Senin and decided he was too dangerous by himself, and with two they would be better off getting backup. Naruto shrugged at this part, not really knowing why they just left. The we saved was Fu. She has been with us ever since, and we became close friends as she helped me learn to control Kyuubi a little better, and I gave her someone who could relate to what she was going through. That leads us to what just happened. Me and Fu raced to the tower, and she was teasing me because she won, so I started to tickle her. Hinata-chan saw this and thought, well, I don't know what she really thought. He finished confused. Tsunade looked at Hinata. Well, Hokage-sama, I guess I was jealous. She whispered. Tsunade sighed and looked at Jiraiya. Is everything he said true? She asked. Everything was correct. Also, Akatsuki had already captured the 5-tailed and 6-tailed, and if we didn't show up when we did, they would have had the 7-tailed also. Jiraiya told her. Tsunade nodded and went to sit in her chair. Hinata, your genins are waiting for you in the lobby, so you're dismissed. Naruto and Ino, these are the files of the genins you will be in charge of. She said, handing them the folders and dismissing them. Naruto took the file with a huge grin. He finally got to show he could be a leader and a good one. Tsunade looked at Fu and Haku. What to do with you two? She asked herself. They both are just as strong as Naruto. Fu has control over her demon that Naruto can only dream of having and Haku can use. Jiraiya told her. Okay, so they should be listed as, Tsunade asked. Jiraiya thought that could work for now, at least until they become more rounded. He told her. Break. Naruto walked to Ichiraku where he was supposed to meet his team. He put his mask back on since his off time was now officially over. Moving the flap, he walked in and saw 3 genin hopefuls look back at him. Are you our sensei? One of them asked. He pulled out 3 masks. A monkey, a hare, and a sloth. He mentally laughed as he watched them. The Hokage's grandson gets the monkey, the big-haired girl gets the hare, and the snot boy gets the sloth. He said. Hey, my name is Konoha, not Hokage's grandson. He yelled, jumping on the stool he was sitting on. So 5 bowls of miso ramen? Am asked. Yes, thank you, Am-chan. Naruto said, smiling behind his mask. Am walked into the kitchen shaking her head at her brother. He never knows when to be serious, she thought. Sure, don't mention it, Shinobi-san. She told him. Hey, I'm talking to you. Konoha yelled. You say something? Naruto asked him. The female giggled at him. Am came back with the ramen. Here you go, Shinobi-san. She said. Thank you, Am-chan. He said before he started to eat after passing 1 bowl to his genin. He noticed they were looking at him. You not going to eat? He asked. They looked at their food, then back to see him already finished. How did you eat all that without taking out your mask? Konoha demanded. Naruto laughed, remembering him trying to catch Kakashi with his mask down while he ate. Konoha, Mogi, and Yuden, from this moment on your past life doesn't matter. You are ninjas of Konohagakure and are at the Goddamn Hokage disposal and will gladly accept any mission she assigns to this team, even if the mission means certain death. Them looked at each of them as they looked nervous by the thought of death. Do you accept this? He asked. The 3 looked at each other. We will train hard and protect Konohagakure until our dying breath. They said. But you 3 are now Team 7. Naruto said, taking off his mask and smiling. Naruto, you're our sensei? Konoha asked in excitement. Yup, I was also surprised that Granny Tsunade made me a sensei. Naruto said. If you think you were surprised, you should have been there when she told me. A voice said. Naruto immediately recognized the voice. Mom. He said, getting up and hugging her. She hugged him back, gave them the old Uzumaki training I put you through, it will toughen them up. She said. I will make them into the strongest genin team since Iro-sanin, and Granny Tsunade was a team. Naruto said. Break. Ino walked into Amaguriyama restaurant and immediately thought of her teammates, Choji and Shikamaru. Shaking her head, she walked up to the table with the genin sitting at it and groaned in annoyance. Ichiro, Shikanu, and Choma, are you my genin? She asked. Is that you? Ichiro asked as he jumped on her, followed by Shikanu and Chozo. Get off of me this instant. Ino demanded as they knocked her to the ground. Sorry, sister. Ichiro said sheepishly. It's sensei. Ino told them. This is going to be weird, calling Ino-chan sensei. Choma said. Just take your masks and let go. She said, putting the mask on the table and walking away. Shikanu grabbed the deer mask, Ichiro grabbed the boar mask, and Choma grabbed the butterfly mask. Choma looked like his older brother Choji, while Ichiro looked like their father. Shikanu looked like her mother Yoshino, and her goal was to prove she wasn't as lazy as her older brother Shikamaru, no matter what her mother said. They walked into the Hokage's office. Is there a problem, Ino? Tsunade asked. Ino glared at her. Why did you make me their sensei? She asked, motioning to her genin. You don't want to be their sensei? Tsunade asked innocently. Why did you pick me and not Choji or Shikamaru? Ino asked. Tsunade shrugged. Well, they are talented, Shikamaru is too lazy and Choji is too soft, they need someone who can give them the tough love they need. She told her. You don't want to be our sensei, sister? Ichiro asked. Ino sighed, you're pure evil. She said to Tsunade before walking out the door, be at training ground 10 tomorrow at 10. She told them. The 3 ran outside with Ino following. Sister, can we go see mom? Ichiro asked. Ino smiled sadly at him. I haven't seen her in over 2 years. She said. See you later, Ichiro and Ino. Choma and Shikanu said. Break. Hinata walked into the Uchiha compound and was surprised to find Ku attacking Naruto, relentlessly trying to figure out everything he learned and if he mastered what she told him to. She watched for a while before Naruto was sent flying back by a kick Ku placed on his left cheek. Enough for Naruto. Ku said as she straightened out her clothes. Naruto sat up on the ground while rubbing his cheek. That hurts, mom. He informed her. Well, next time don't get kicked. I told you I'm not pulling my attacks on you anymore. Ku told him while smiling at him. Duda-kun. They heard. They turned to see Fu looking at them. How did you get in here? Hinata demanded. I was looking for Duda-kun and was able to sense him in here, so I came to him. Fu told her, matching her tone. Well, this is my compound, and I did not give you permission to enter, so leave. Hinata told her. Fu stood there not at all scared. No. She simply told her before she started to walk towards Naruto. I said leave. Hinata said before she vanished and Fu was sent flying back. You're going to regret that. Fu promised before she sped towards Hinata. Naruto appeared in front of Hinata. Fu, stop. He said softly to her. Fu stopped, not willing to attack Naruto. Why should I? She attacked me first. She asked. Because this is Hinata-chan compound, she makes the rules and we have to follow, and you can't just walk in here like you own the place. Naruto told her. Fu crossed her arms over her chest and huffed while stomping on the ground. Fine. She said, turning her head to the side. I don't need you to protect me. Hinata hissed at him. I know, but Fu is my friend and you're my girlfriend. I don't want you to fight. Naruto told her. Then make her apologize. Hinata told him. I'm not apologizing to you. Fu started, still refusing to look at her. Fu, please? Naruto asked. She sighed, fine, but only because Duda-kun asked me, sorry. She mumbled. Why exactly are you here? Ku asked before Hinata could say anything else. The Hokage said we have to stay with Naruto for the next year, at which point we will be evaluated to see if we are loyal to the village and Hokage. Someone else answered. How the hell did you get in my compound? Hinata demanded, glaring at Haku. The front door. He answered simply while shrugging. Hinata, you're the one who left the gate open, so well I can understand that you made it so that they didn't knock and wait until they were let in. It's also partly your fault they were able to get in so easily. Ku told her. Hinata huffed, not wanting to agree with that. Naruto scratched his head while Ku tapped her finger on her chin while thinking, you're right, this is a problem. She said while looking at Hinata. Hinata sighed, they can stay here, but they have to follow each and every rule I give them. Of course we will. Ku told her. I'm not worried about you two. She then glared at Fu. You two are not to enter any building that I don't give you permission to. You will not bring anyone into my compound without my approval. You will only use the training grounds that we are currently in. Once I close my gate to the compound, no one will be able to enter or exit, and all traps will activate at midnight. No roaming around my compound without one of us with you. She was cut off. Hinata slows down. They just need a place to sleep and eat. They won't do anything or enter any place they are not supposed to. Ku said. Besides, don't all these buildings have traps? Naruto asked. Fine, but if any trap goes off, you will have to answer to me, and I will not go easy. Hinata told them while activating her. How do you have the Sharingan? Fu asked, confused. What do you think? I had a parent from each clan. Hinata told her as if she was stupid. Hinata, I need your help. Hanabi said, walking up to them. What's wrong? Hinata asked. Why didn't you yell at her? Fu demanded to know. Father is trying to arrange a marriage with someone from Kumo. Hanabi told her. Hanabi, there is nothing Hinata can do about that. Ku told her. So I have to marry that fat boy who was at the compound? Hanabi asked in horror. Not if I have a say in it. Hinata said. What will you do? Hanabi asked. Don't worry, go back to your compound. You need to play the part of loyal heir, leave everything else to me. Hinata said. Once Hanabi left, she turned to the others. What exactly will you do? Naruto asked. Convince him that he doesn't want to marry my sister, and if that doesn't work, I can always make him disappear. Hinata told him. You can't go within 100 feet of the Hyuga compound. Ku reminded her. I can't, but she was cut off. I don't want to hear this because I will have to stop you if it's something bad, so I'm leaving. Ku said and popped away in a burst of smoke. Okay, so what's the plan? Naruto asked. Hinata looked at Haku, wanting to prove himself. She asked. Why would I need to prove myself to you? He asked. I'm letting you live in my compound. Hinata reminded me. Fine. Haku gave in. Hinata smiled. I need you to go and find out everything you can about this guy, use any method you want to. What exactly am I looking for? He asked. Try and get him to tell you why he wants to marry my sister. Hinata told her. What do I do after I find out what I need? Haku, while thinking of ways to get the information from him. Fu will then come in and try and coax him out of the marriage, try and get him to at least show interest in you. Hinata told her. Fu looked uncomfortable with that. I don't want to do that. She said. Why should it be easy? Hinata asked. Because I don't feel comfortable tricking someone into falling for me. I don't even know how to do that. she said. Hinata looked at her, doubting what she said. How do you not know how to make someone fall for you? Every kunoichi learns that at some point in their training. She asked. I wasn't trained until I met Jiraiya-sensei. Fu admitted. How did you learn the things you know? Naruto asked. I stole scrolls from the village I was from. Fu, she said, shrugging. I think I can get Kurenai-sensei or Sophia-sensei to teach you. Hinata told her. What if that doesn't work? Naruto asked. Then me and you will make him disappear. Hinata told him. Naruto raised an eyebrow. We killed him. No, kidnap him and hold him hostage until a few days after the arranged marriage. Hinata said. That won't be for years, right? Naruto asked. No, with Hanabi being heir, she needs a potential husband soon so they can start to bond. Hinata told him. Are clans always like that? Naruto asked. Only if you're the heir, the rest get to get married whenever they want. Haku informed him. The end. Thanks for watching my video, and make sure to check out the author of this fanfic, link is in the description. See you next time, till then sayonara.